What do you make of the government's rolling out of the free senior high school program so far?
It was always a good idea to make education as free as possible and progressively, which is enshrined in the Constitution. So our forefathers, or those who helped to define the Constitution, already had that in their minds, and it's right there in the Constitution. I, as a Minister of Education, came and implemented a free, compulsory, universal basic education program, F-Cube, which was available to all children, except it was the basic education. Mm-hmm. What the NPP has done, even though Mahama started it with a number of schools, and there are statistics on it, I don't want to bore you.
So you believe the story that John Mahama started free SHS and not Nana?
No, but your own stations carried news of him in 2014, 2015, announcing some of those freebies.
But that was
not. But it was not branded.
It was not en masse.
No, it was branded. It was not branded as a free education policy for everybody, and it was not. It was only free for some schools and some particular individuals, and especially for those day students.
Yes.
So even the community day schools were under Mahama, which were built, they had some freebies in them. But for many, under almost all governments, there were always some fees to be paid. Even laundry, chalk. There are little amounts of money that parents always have to contribute.
But this government will say to you that
right.
Free senior high school is really free, and what your government or Mahama's government was doing is not free.
So
because one,
yes.
all you need now
yes.
is to carry your chop box and
right.
trunk.
Yeah, but that chop box itself, who supplies it?
And move
that
to the
chop
school.
box and trunk you are talking about, you see, it's a cost to the parents.
So for you, if government doesn't provide everything to that level,
that's what I'm saying. It's a matter of definition. I started by telling you that it's how you define it. If your chop box and trunk is provided by government, as may be provided in some countries around the world, maybe they give you even free laptops in some countries. Japan and Korea, you start as a child, 2-3 years old, they already start giving you some free electronic products.
Are you not saying this because
definitions are different?
Are you not saying this because as a party you think that you've been...
It's not a party matter. I'm speaking to you, I'm sorry to say this, as somebody who has worked in international organizations such as the World Bank and IFC and African Development Bank, where we take such matters a little differently.
But you're a member
so from a political point of view, yes, it may sound as if I'm either defending or accusing somebody of something. No, but I'm saying that as Ghanaians, now that I'm 67, as Ghanaians, we should just learn when any party tells us something is free, what exactly is it free and what exactly is not free. And let the governments also be a little bit more transparent. That's why I use water, for example. That's not a free SH matter. As if one is giving you so-called free water, will it be free for how long? And when you start paying for that water later, how do the rates escalate to potentially recover from the losses that have been incurred in the past?
But is it necessary to be having this debate over who even introduced free SHS?
It wouldn't be necessary if political parties, they don't make it their mantra, we introduce free SHS, you didn't introduce it. Then the other party also say, then we have to defend ourselves by saying it wasn't really free, or it was free.
Even though people like you were quoted at the time, and now you've explained the context as saying that free SHS was never possible, and there was nothing like free SHS.
No, you have to quote me correctly because
I've quoted the headline for you, but you've just put it in context now. So I'm saying to you that even though people in your party at the time poo-pooed the promise, and I've just mentioned what you said. No, we
didn't poo-poo it as something that was not desirable.
You said it was
difficult to implement.
And now
how will you implement it? No, because
now you'll be embarrassed because it happened.
Listen, what happened is that the NPP, good policy, difficult implementation. So most parents thought you get the free SHS all at once in the first year.
Okay.
All people will get free SHS.
From Form 1 to
Form
3.
So first year, we couldn't do all of them. We did 1 year at a time.
Okay.
So that already was not the free SHS proper.
Okay.
Then secondly, when the free SHS was in the third year, we couldn't do it fully. We had to do part-time, what do you call that part-time, full-time thing?
Double track.
It's double track, and then yellow light, green light, all kinds of very confusing stuff. In order to implement the policy. Okay. So that's nothing wrong with trying to implement a policy. But I'm just saying, if we are a little bit franker, a little bit more transparent, a little bit more honest, we'll be able to present the policy in a manner that people will know what is free, what is not so free. The chop, you pay for the chop, you bring your own sardines, your own chop box, etc., etc.
Very well.
It is subsidized. Okay. Subsidized.
Let's move on. Question. Is Spio Garbrah on the John Mahama campaign team?
Absolutely, sure.
You actively play in a role?
I'm chairman of the the Business Development Committee of the party.
Okay, so
I'm co-chairman of the communications committee.
So do you do a tour of the country?
I've done some aspects of the tour. I mean, people, first of all, the party decided that they don't want all kinds of people following the flag bearer and, creating all kinds of costs. Mm-hmm. So it's a very decentralized, regional and constituency-based campaign.
Okay.
All occupants go to your constituency, go to your polling station. The election is won at polling stations. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's won by where you vote. So if you don't vote in a place and you're all over the Sunyani and all kind of Brongafo, it's nice people see you there. Will you affect the elections in that place? So stay and try and play a role where you can be most effective in your own small community.